Hello, you amazing people. Welcome back to RXMemes. Today is a special and a different kind of video. We are going to be diving into r/ProRevenge, but we have a theme today, and that is don't mess with my food. So this video is special because yes, our entree is r/ProRevenge, but we have a little appetizer or a amuse-bouche of r/Amazon reviews. Before we get into the video, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be starting a new feature on my channel where every video I'll be asking a question and some of the best answers will be featured in the next day's video. So today's question is, what's one food or snack food that you would eat and eat and eat no matter how it made you feel? Mine are Arby's mozzarella sticks. They're so delicious, but I feel like crap every single time I have them. And I always think I want 4, but I usually end up being able to eat 2, and then I'm like tapping out. So if you like today's video and you aren't already, I would love for you to subscribe. Please subscribe. When I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing an hour-long special. So if you want to help me reach that goal, please subscribe. I'm sorry for the long intro, but let's get right into the video. Quarter pounder with cheese, extra roaches, posted by user /keepingitreal24. I was working a very demanding job in Florida. We had 3 shifts and they were staggered to overlap by 3 to 4 hours to increase production. I worked the 3rd shift from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. and had to bring my lunch because we weren't near anything open then except for a gas station. A few of us noticed our lunches were being eaten. Typically it was anything in a bag from a restaurant or a Tupperware container. Often, all the lunches were pilfered and dessert or snack items were taken. We spoke to management about it, but they were hesitant to do anything. They suggested it was one of us doing it to our fellow shift members. One day, my entire lunch, drinks, everything was taken. I had to buy candy bars and soda to eat, and a coworker shared some of his remaining lunch. So basically, 12 hours of very physical work on candy and a bit of rice. I was absolutely furious. I knew it wasn't my shift members, and they were just as angry as I was. I told them that I was going to set a trap and we would get some vengeance on the person who had been stealing our food. I stopped by McDonald's on the way to work the next few days and ordered a quarter pounder with the cheese on the side. I had gathered some palmetto bugs, giant flying roaches about 2 inches long, and put 2 on the burger and placed the cheese on top. I then labeled the bag and put it in the fridge. I was careful to throw it away each day and replace with a new one. I really wanted to burn this bastard. On day 3, I came down to the lunchroom and the bag was in the garbage. I was just giddy thinking of what happened. I dug through the trash and found the bag, the box from the burger, and the burger with a few big bites out of it. Our entire shift was laughing our ass off all night. In the morning, I was told to stick around and meet with the plant manager. I was confused and scared, but I technically did nothing wrong. I get sent into his office and here is a 2nd shift employee, recently hired and the brother of a longtime employee. I'm told how he ate some food and a person had placed roaches on it. So I was the bad guy? I explained that I did in fact have a burger with roaches on it, but that's my business. He shouldn't have been stealing food. He countered with saying that he thought it was his. I pulled the bag out of my backpack with my name on each side. He wanted to receive an apology and be excused from work for his inconvenience. The manager said he would discuss it further with me and ask him to leave. He said he knew that I had set a trap. I didn't respond. He started laughing and said he would give him a written warning for stealing food. But I was told not to put any roach food in the fridge from that day forward. I told everyone I talked to that he was the one stealing food. His brother tried to make me the bad guy for baiting him with a roach burger, but the damage was done. He was being trash-talked and confronted all week. Finally, he resigned. I still get a good laugh thinking about him biting into the burger and getting juicy roach guts in his mouth. This is disgusting. Oh my gosh. And also classic r/choosing beggar. But how pissed off would you be if an employee demanded an apology from you? Like, how entitled is that employee for demanding an apology for eating your own food? It's like that girl in the video that I did about a week ago who demanded an apology for having a spicy burger that was somebody else's. What the hell is wrong with these people? Justice in the face of a gummy bear, posted by user /Holcos. So around a year ago, 21 at that time, I went on an exchange semester in Mannheim, Germany. I also rented a room at a moderate price. I shared the house I was living with 3 other people. My landlord, early 30s, and 2 other exchange students, also 21 years old, both Austrians. One of them stayed a semester like me, one stayed a full year. We were allowed into the house because we could all speak German, although mine wasn't that good. Everything seemed all cool and okay. The other students were like my best friends. We hung out together like any student would do. Gaming, going out, making memes, important for the story, etc. After a while, I started to notice that some of my food started missing. First, it was just rice and other cheap groceries that were being stolen. Barely noticed it, thought I was hallucinating. It is Germany, let's not judge. But after like 2 months, it got worse when bottles of wine and pieces of meat started missing, etc. Being confused by this, I decided to tell my roommates who were facing the same problem. Since we were sharing a kitchen, including a fridge and cabinets to store our food. Through sharing our stories, we concluded that our landlord was doing this. And oh boy, were we right. When we confronted him about it, he got very offended, started screaming and cussing. He was screaming stuff like, "It's my house, I do what I want in it," and "I will plunder your stuff like Germany did in World War II to your countrymen." I'm Dutch. So to say, that wasn't very helpful for us. Me and my roommates tried to make a plan to stop him on an evening of chilling and laughing. The landlord wasn't there. I'm not sure which one of us came up with the initial idea anymore, but at one point we were laughing about the devilish 5-pound bag of Gummy Bears. As this is a meme, they got hilarious reviews because of their extremely laxative effect on Amazon. They had cost us together around 40 euros, which at that point was just 20% of what our landlord stole from us in terms of food and drinks, so worth it! Now the best part comes. When they arrived, we took a few of them and put them in 3 bags, each for one of our areas we put food in. The next day, the bathroom was occupied all day long. As expected, since our landlord thought that those gummy bears were a delicious late-night snack. He texted me one time, "Why would you eat those bears? They are evil!" I responded with, "Oh, they were a gift from my parents. Thanks for taste testing." Safe to say I wasn't bothered by him stealing my food anymore. After me and the other roommate left our friend behind at the end of the semester, our landlord fell back into his old practices again with our successors. Although our roommate had the deterrent for this, the gummy bears, soon I received the text he fell for the same trick again. Justice was served again. This was literally the most hilarious experience and sweetest revenge I ever had. Alright, so should we take a look at some of these Amazon reviews for these gummy bears? If you guys want to follow along or take a look at them or play this prank on somebody else, search Haribo Sugar-Free Classic Gummy Bears 1 pound. I've heard of these gummy bears years and years ago, so I'm going to read the first review that I ever heard of, and then I'll get into some of the other ones. So I will leave the link in the description if you want to follow along or pick some of these up for yourself. Perhaps you're on a diet. Just joking, bad joke, sorry if I triggered anyone. And let's get right into it. Eat if you dare. February 1st, 2015. Verified purchase. I sit here writing this review at 4 a.m. from my porcelain throne, a fixture you will become all too familiar with if you choose to eat these cute little bears from the pits of hell. I had to eat a pound of these little bastards after Man City must have thought they were playing American football the other week and lost to a team of Arsenal scrubs. They were a bit chewy, but overall appeared to be nothing more than your average gummy bears. After about 2 hours with little more than some mild stomach cramps, feeling like one would expect from eating a pound of any candy, I began to wonder if I'd gotten some duds. Like the slow buildup of a Martin Scorsese film, however, those bears were waiting for their baptism scene to destroy my insides. It started with the cramping, very akin to doing 1,000 crunches and then being forced to hold the 1,001st crunch indefinitely. Then came the initial run, which opened the proverbial floodgates. I'm over 30 and beginning to wonder if these bears know that and want to send me back to the can for each year I've been on this earth. For each year I've been on this earth to make me wonder why I'd ever been born. In between gastrointestinal bouts of pressure washing the inside of my toilet from my anus, I lay in bed feeling as if someone were to punch me in the stomach. I'd explode, turning the walls of my bedroom into a soiled Jackson Pollock rendition. To give you an idea, I'd spent $50 ordering a UFC pay-per-view, only to willingly miss the last 2 to 3 fights on the main card. because I didn't want to stray too far from my master bedroom. Thankfully for me and my marriage, fearing what might be coming, I convinced my wife to spend the evening at my sister-in-law's because trust me, fellas, nothing will be gained from your significant other experiencing this with you. I'm no longer in pain, but I am still having to make trips back to my master bath on a regular basis. Eat these if you dare, but be forewarned. They are not to be trifled with unless you want your toilet to be a staging ground for repeat fecal rehearsals of the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. 2010 people found that helpful. Jimmy Beans J said, 5 stars, a delicious treat that should be enjoyed only after the following preparations have been made. October 17th, 2015. Number 1, make sure it's Friday and cancel all weekend plans. For good measure, go ahead and call in for Monday. Number 2, call the city and make sure your water bill is paid in full. Number 3, visit your local hardware store and purchase the sink attachment for your garden hose, as toilet paper will quickly become too painful to bear. Number 4, give advance notice to family members, roommates, and neighbors unless you're keen on trying to give birth to a crushed watermelon while convincing your local SWAT team that both the screaming and demonic noises are from you and a dynamic entry would only bring more needless suffering. Number 5, redo your restroom in motivational pictures, ones with slogans like, courage is if you're hanging on 1 minute longer. The only easy day was yesterday, etc. I also advise posting the suicide prevention online or having a dedicated friend or other support group to walk you through the low times. Lastly, I must strongly urge you to consider why you are thinking of buying this product. Is it a sense of deep self-loathing? A reckless sense of adventure? Are you researching dysentery? Perhaps you're the drill sergeant of some extreme commando unit seeking to break down the enemy's will to fight by airdropping these into the midst. If you are just curious, then let me say, oh fellow human, beware, for this life is dangerous enough. Next time I want a thrill, I'll skydive without a parachute. That way at least I'll have a chance. Amazon customer, 5 stars, October 26, 2017. Help me. 5 stars from an Amazon customer. April 25th, 2014. A day that will live in infamy. I was suddenly and deliberately attacked by these evil gummy bears. It all started the day prior when my sugar tooth persuaded me to eat 2 handfuls of these sugar-free delights. Fast forward 15 hours, 23 minutes, and 44 seconds, the world shook. All hell broke loose inside me. A sudden headache. My skin began to perspire, and something tore around in my abdomen with force enough to make me latch onto my couch with both hands, and let out a sheer cry that sent my dog retreating into the bedroom. She probably knew the battle was already lost. I tried to make for the bathroom, but the pressure was so intense I had to wait it out on the couch until a lapse in the gut-busting occurred and I regained control of my muscles. It took only moments before the volcano Mount Anus had blown its top. The air quickly turned poisonous from the methane and sulfuric fumes that spewed forth. Violence and terror are understatements of what happened for the next 45 minutes. I sustained 3rd-degree burns from contact with the lava that flowed abruptly from my bowels. My blood pressure was at record levels, and my body mass was reduced by 4 pounds. After ample ventilation of the crime scene, I quickly took a shower and changed clothes because the powerful fumes had soaked through the fabric and into the skin. I almost had a mental breakdown in the shower after realizing those little gummy bears had nearly defeated such a man that I thought I was. I can now hardly bear to look forward through the night terrors and PTSD that will come of this horrid event. Buffalo Frank rated it 3 stars. On December 3rd, 2014. There comes a time in one's life when they ask a simple question. Why? I asked myself that question 1 week ago this very night. Why did I not read the reviews before ordering these gummy seeds of Satan? What started out as nothing more than my ordering something to munch on while watching the football games turned into 2 days of intestinal terrorism. I sat down on a Sunday afternoon with my bag of gummy bears to watch the Giants game. Kicked up my feet, sat back, and started popping these bad boys 3 or 4 at a time. Everything started out okay at first. The Giants had a lead. I was enjoying my relaxing Sunday, and that's when the trouble started. Eli Manning fumbled, and I felt the first rumble in my stomach. Nothing dawned on me at the time, but if I could only go back and warn my unsuspecting soul of what was yet to come. It was a close game the entire second half until the fatal moment. There would be no comeback or Giants victory today. Eli threw an interception that was returned for a game-winning touchdown, and I yelled out, "Oh no!" for 2 reasons that day. Soon as the defender crossed the goal line for the score, Blammo! The dastardly bears of gumminess had conquered my digestive tract and weren't taking any prisoners. The next 3 hours of my life were a blur of mixed emotions. Crying, moaning, numbness in both my legs from sitting on a toilet for that long. And also in my heart for what was once a childhood joy, now an adulthood horror. Who would have thunk that rainbow-colored gummy bears could manifest itself into such an evil of multiple brown rag dolls left floating in the porcelain bowl, needing to be flushed away in all urgency so as not to leave a reminder of that day? Gummy bears, you are no longer a friend of mine. No, you are not. Alright, you amazing people, that's it for today's video. It's totally different from what I normally do, so if you like it, definitely let me know. If my voice is more annoying than usual, it's because I'm got a little bit of a sore throat, so I apologize. Nothing like a little self-deprecating humor that's not actually funny, right guys? Am I right? Okay, so if you liked today's video and you want to, please subscribe. Even if you don't want to, I'd love to have you subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye!